All right, Bill,
You know?
what's the biggest story of the week, the most important story of the week?
The media ignoring or trying to denigrate the Durham revelation about spying on Trump. So it's not the revelation itself. That's not the biggest story because we don't know what he has.
But I've watched the mainstream media when they have covered this. I mean, the New York Times was amazing what they admitted to. But when they did cover it at all, they said they've got nothing. There's nothing new here.
That's what I'm talking about.
They
try to denigrate, diminish the story. And this is the best example of how the media has become unbelievably corrupt in America. So if you go back to the Watergate years, and that's what put me on the journalistic path. I went to Boston University to get a master's in broadcast journalism because of the Watergate story. I said, wow, look at that. The press, bringing down all of this corruption and telling the American people what was happening. I'd like to do this. And that's exactly true. So now we have something very similar to Watergate. In fact, on the No Spin News on BillO'Reilly.com this week, we had the attorney for Deep Throat. Mark Felt was Deep Throat, the guy who gave all the information in Washington Post, brought Nixon down. Okay, we had his attorney on. And the attorney said, hey, this is almost exactly the same because the Watergate plumbers are trying to bug the Democratic National Headquarters, and now this operation that had a contract with the federal government to maintain some kind of nebulous software, they were, in effect, bugging the Trump Tower and then later on the White House because they were in there on a legitimate contract but using their access illegitimately.
Correct.
Does Stu understand? Do you want to?
No, he understands the word illegitimate.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. I think it is worse in the fact that they were going into the White House. Watergate, it was never somebody on the outside going into the White House.
But Beck, government contracts go into the White House all the time. I mean, food. So, you're delivering food to the White House. You have access. You walk in. That doesn't surprise me that they would have an oversight on
No. I agree with that. But the fact that it is used against the president
that's the thing. But Durham didn't put forth who might get charged and how the chain of information came out. He didn't do that yet. The real scandal now is that during the Watergate thing, every media operation is trying to get a piece of that. They were sending droves of reporters. Now when you have something very similar, they don't want to do anything. They want the story to go away because it would reflect poorly on the Democratic Party. Okay? And so that's what they're doing. Anybody can see the difference and the scandal of the media, which does not want to cover the news anymore. It wants to spit out propaganda.
But
and that's a very dangerous thing for this country.
There are two kinds of people now in America. Those who watch the mainstream media alone, and those are the mask-wearing, Hillary-denying kind of people. And they think that the truckers up in Canada are absolutely bad guys and all this Hunter Biden stuff was bullcrap. And then there are those people that might see the mainstream media but also watch other things, and they're either confused or they know that the mainstream media is lying. Where does this end?
I don't know where it ends because it's such a problem and it's influencing how all of us live, and most people don't understand that. So the media is in decline. We all know that. Television news ratings are going down. Circulations for newspapers are going down. But they still drive narratives, and they still can spit out stuff all over social media, which is where most Americans get their news. And you have it on the other side as well. So immediately after the Durham thing last Friday, 1 week ago, you had some right-wing commentators go up and go, Hillary Clinton did it. She paid it. Well, that's not true. We don't know who paid it. We don't know whether Hillary Clinton knew. she may have. We certainly know that John Podesta knew. That was the head of the Clinton reelection campaign. It's the same thing. Like Nixon didn't know that these guys were going into the DNC at Watergate to try to bug it. He didn't know that. That's been established. But then after he found out, he tried to cover up and he lied under oath and he did all these other things.
Correct.
So,
and I think it is rational to have people around the president that will say, just take care of this. He shouldn't know about it. Don't let him know about it.
Yeah. So you don't know whether Hillary Clinton did or did not do, but with her prior resume of horror, I call it the resume of horror, Beck. You can use that on the
Well, hang on just a second. I don't know what horror is. Is that Latin for hour, or what is
HORROR?
Yeah, that's horror.
Yeah, that's what I said. No, what's the matter with you?
Say it again.
Are you still thinking about your lower region?
No, I'm not. I'm thinking about your...
Everybody understood the word that I said, Beck. All right, let's move it along, okay?
No. All right.
You are horror. Why do I do this?
In the horror
Friday?
of our death.
Yes. You know why I do this every Friday? Because you have an enormous audience. And now I'm going to get my plug in so I don't have to get in at the end. This is President's Weekend. Did everybody know that?
Yeah.
It's honoring Lincoln and Washington.
Yeah.
All right. Except in San Francisco where they believe they were villains. Okay. So President's Day weekend, we have on BillO'Reilly.com, we're streaming the Trump History Tour. And everybody can see it. And I want you to go there because you're going to see a totally different Donald Trump. A Donald Trump you've never seen before. And these were based on the 4 shows we did in December. Okay. That's why I do this Friday thing with you, Beck. What's your next question?
All right, good. I'm glad you're transactional. I just thought you liked me. Yeah, so that's at BillO'Reilly.com. It's free to watch it?
For premium and concierge members, for others a nominal fee because we do have production costs.
Oh, my gosh. You're just raking in the cash. All right. Okay. So we have the Durham thing.
Yes.
The second.
You want to get to the truckers. I know you love the truckers because.
No, I really want to know what you think.
The media loves the truckers. Oh, I every time I turn it on Fox News or any of the others, the truckers. All right, I'm going to break it down. You know I'm a simple man, right? I am the simplest man you have ever known in your life, with the exception of Stu.
No, I know some people who are special.
No, it's impossible.
I am
so simple.
Yeah.
I am. My parents should have named me Simon. Simple Simon at the Pyman. Okay. So all I have is one question. Geraldo Rivera. So Geraldo Rivera is the king of the underdog. All right, his whole career, his 87-year career, has been championing the underdog. That's how he made his reputation, and that's what he always does.
This is like Moses calling Methuselah old. I love this.
Yes. Okay. Give me. If you want to go out and do a little skateboard exposition, I'll rack up next to you.
All right.
Okay. All right. So Geraldo is Mr. Underdog. Okay, Mr. Vietnam protester, Mr. Everything.
Yeah.
So now, when you have a legitimate protest in Canada, all right, it's legitimate. I mean, these truckers, they don't want to be told by the government they can't make a living if you don't do X, Y, and Z as far as COVID is concerned. That is a legitimate protest every country on earth. But Geraldo thinks they're thugs. Because why? Because they drive their trucks into Ottawa to get media attention? That's what you do when you protest, all right? And yeah, some of them are getting arrested. Some of them should get arrested. If you're blocking the pedestrians from doing whatever or stopping business, that's what happens when you protest, and people accept that. But I'm saying to myself, what is Geraldo's beef? I don't understand the beef. It's a legitimate protest. You might not agree with their point of view, but why are you, personally attacking them? Do you have an answer for that?
Yeah, it doesn't fit their agenda. That's the only answer.
What is the agenda?
The agenda is the mask wearing, the totalitarian lean, the Marxist kind of movement that we are heading towards.
Geraldo's buying into a progressive vision where you do what we say or we hurt you.
No, he's too shallow for that. He
okay.
is.
So you don't think he understands?
No, I think he does understand it. He's just doing it because that'll increase his lovability and likability with people on the other side, and he can keep his job.
That might be true. He might be pandering.
Yeah.
But when I see him and he's doing this stuff, and I know him really well. I'm doing a big benefit for his autism charity that's coming up in March, and I'm going, what is this? I don't understand why you would attack protesters who are legitimately demonstrating their anger at a certain policy. That is what democracy is all about.
So how does this affect the average person with the way they have cracked down on the financial?
Well, that's in Canada, though. Canada is a different thing. In America, I don't expect we see any of that. I don't even think you're going to get many of the truckers. They want to do it here, but it's all waning now. You see, the COVID thing is on the skids, and the mandates are flying out the window now. And Americans are a population that responds to the moment. And it looks like the COVID moment is passing. It could come back, sure. But it looks like that all it is, and I'm praying that this is true, goes away. And then if that happens, the protests will as well.
What about the people like the Washington Post that has been taking these hacked names and exposing them? And it's not just for the truckers.
They apologized. Didn't they apologize for that?
I don't think so. The story came out yesterday. You may be right. I didn't see an apology.
Yeah, somebody apologized for putting people's names out that were unvaccinated. Maybe it wasn't a Washington Post. Look, at this point in our country, if people don't understand that the totalitarian left wants to hurt you if you don't agree with them, then just take a trip out to Hollywood. Because you cannot work in the movie or television industry if you are a conservative. Unless you're one of these guys, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's, way up and established. But if you are trying to forge a career in the entertainment industry and you have any traditional leanings at all, even if you're just pro-life, you cannot work. They will not hire you. And that is the most vivid example of totalitarianism that I can give you.